This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Ah, the map before us. It makes us seem insignificant when we can see the whole Earth from the sky. What about you? Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Front Mission 4. In the last episode, we were tasked by the EC to check on some, well, thugs or ne'er-do-wellers who destroyed some German bases. It seemed impromptu, but perhaps there's some secrets going on in the background. We chased them to a base, but there was only a handful of them, and they blew up most of the chips. Do we find something there? Let's find out today, in today's episode. Back in the Durandel. There was nothing in the boxes they left behind. They did a good job of covering the tracks. Roger. Hermes, anything on your side? I wonder. Did you find something? Come look at this. Come look at this cliche. Ding! What is it? It's a white hole. Oh, sorry, wrong science fiction show. It's code from a microchip that barely made in one piece. It's from one of their wanzers. It looks like a file from a leg part stabilization program. How convenient that the one time that their parts blow up, that one bit survives. So, who knew? Is it enough to be used as evidence? Every wanzer manufacturer has its own bipedal locomotion stabilization program, and they're top secret. Well, you know, like most corporations, don't want other groups to know what tricks they have. So you can usually identify a wanzer's marker by looking at the program's quirks. Actually, interesting enough, that's kind of the same in coding. You can kind of, certain coders or programmers have certain styles to them that, yeah, they learn from like other people or whatever, but at some point they learn what's easier for them. So usually you can check how their coding lines work and how they tie in other lines together and stuff like that. Not a fan of coding myself. It's just it's a very tedious process. You definitely have to be interested in that type of thing to do it for a living. Can you tell which company this one is from? Is it from the EC, the OCU, or about the UCS? I need to run some more tests to be sure, but I'd say it looks like a lot like a Dimitri Core program. Dimitri, the Zaftran Corporation. I think they were mentioned in the third game as well. I think, if I remember correctly, I think they're the Republic of Zaftra, the second game, I think, heavily involves them, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but this doesn't tell us these wanzers were actually made in the Republic of Zaftra. Oh yeah, and I don't remember where Zaftra is supposed to be in accordance to, like, the real world. Like, you know, kind of like in the previous game, the DMC was basically China and the surrounding areas, you know, but here they kind of change a lot of Eastern nations because of, you know, how far in the future it is and stuff like that. So, but Zaftra doesn't export wanzers. And I can see no reason for Zaftra to attack Germany. Yeah, I know. There isn't one country in the world that's at odds with Germany these days. How times have changed, right, folks? Well, at least we've managed to find some kind of lead, but we need to have it analyzed further by the proper authorities. Let's go back to the German base. Oh, yeah, we just could have run off without telling Wagner what we were doing. Hope he isn't too pissed. Why are we going back there? Can we go straight to the investigation headquarters? We didn't tell Wagner we'd be coming here. At the very least, we have to tell him where we've been. Yeah, this is supposed to be a collaborative project with the German army, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's talk to our allies before we do anything else. It doesn't look like there are any more hostiles nearby. Still, we better make sure our wanzers are properly equipped. Yeah, now that last episode we kind of just got shoved into combat without preparing our mechs. Now we can actually do that now that they've mentioned it. So, man, I didn't think we'd get into a firefight. From now on, we better make sure our wanzers are ready. If we set the armor on our wanzers to a certain type, it should lessen the damage we take from the weapons of the corresponding type. Kind of like in the last game. I think it's like 10% per like level or whatever. Anyway, sorry. For example, if we set our armor to fire resistance, it should absorb a third of the damage from missiles and grenades. A third, huh? I could swear it wasn't that much. Maybe I'm misremembering. There are two other armor types. Piercing resistance armor lessens the damage taken from machine gun and rifle rounds. Impact resistant armor lessens the damage taken from shotgun rounds and melee weapons from knuckles and rods. Don't want to get hit with a knuckle, dude. It'll pay to remember that. It might just save your life. It may just save your life one day. And that's a random quote from a cartoon. As far as I'm aware of the guys, well, I'll double check, but I don't think they repeat themselves. Yeah. Sometimes in some areas that you need to talk to people twice to get extra dialogue, but in this case, well, I mean, you know what I mean. Alright, let's do Wanzer setup. We're really not going to do much, because today we're not going to do anything on the way. Well, we did some plot, but today we're going to do our first simulation, which I'll talk about that here in a second. The simulation we're going to do has 2 units with piercing and 2 with shotguns. So I might leave it on piercing because depending on how we do it, we might beat the shotgunners before they can actually do damage to us. So I might leave everyone on piercing armor for now. Oh yeah, we can actually look at our characters, like what weapons they carry in more detail. So yeah, the Fire Valley Castray shotgun by Fire Valley. You can tell all the damage, the AP cost, weight, and its general hit range and percentage and stuff like that. Same with the Grave machine gun, same thing. And it tells the manufacturer, sender. You know, what's that song? Return back to sender, name unknown. Anyway, you know, there's the item backpack. There's the item she's got equipped with. We can't do anything with the backpacks in terms of buying stuff yet, but we will eventually. Armor type, yeah, we'll just leave it on piercing for now. And we can actually color the machines like in the previous game. Right now we only got urban. We'll unlock more later. See, Elsa's French. See, white, red, and blue. Actually, a lot of countries have red, white, and blue. Do we have just a straight white on this one? Let's see, gray, oyster. Yeah, I'll just do white line. Maybe red? Yeah, we'll do cherry. Cherry bomb! Okay, then we can name the mech as well, but I'm just gonna leave it. Actually, I'll think of some names later, kind of like what I did in the previous game where I named everyone what their kind of characteristics are. I was almost gonna call her like actually what's oh, I'm trying to think of a French like dessert or something like that. Crepe? What's call this the crepe? Because she's French. Yeah, I know other people can eat crepes in other countries. I'm just being silly. Okay. See, Zed. Yeah, he has the wild goat build, where you can look at his parts and everything like that. Yeah, it's really not that. Well, actually, what was Elsa's thing? Yeah, she has decent evasion because look at the her HP and weight and everything like that. So, oh, and I think like in the third game, your hit percentage with your weapons is based off the arm the weapon is on. So if like one arm has like really good accuracy but doesn't hold a weapon, that's pretty much pointless for the that arm. You might as well put the weapon you're going to use with the highest accuracy or hit bonus. So keep that in mind as well. Jade Metal Lyman, huh? I swear that's a. Didn't we run into? I think that company was mentioned in the third game too, if I recall, but I could be off by a bit. Yeah, just going over the, just showing off like what the lace can do, the evasion, everything like that. The reason I showed that is because when you look at Zed's outfit, yeah, look at that, 50% minus evasion. He's definitely designed to hold a missile launcher. Kind of like in the previous game, you needed to have certain builds to be able to hold such heavy weight. So he's got the wild goat with from Leonora. Yeah, it's definitely not a yeah, even though he has a melee weapon, you kind of almost don't want to do melee with his arm because it has such a crappy percentage to hit. But if you have to, I guess you have to. But yeah, it's like he's not designed. I mean, you can change him up obviously like you could in the previous game, but oh yeah, there's the missile launcher there. Oh yeah, and I think I forgot to mention, the game mentioned that too, is that in this game, missiles, as long as they can hit target, they auto hit unless you have some special skill or ability or backpack or whatever that can prevent a missile from hitting. So there's no percentage to hit. So keep that in mind as well. But there are things that can affect missiles. Oh, and by the way, he has missiles on. I forgot to mention this before, but he has missiles on both shoulders. So right now we don't have to worry about him not having a items backpack right now because he can just switch from one missile to the next. So that way we don't have to worry about that. So, all right, let's change his to piercing as well. He shouldn't get in combat, but you never know with how the AI works and everything like that. So he's British. So he's British. So I think their flag is the Union Jack, which is also red, white, and blue. So, well, we give him some... Ooh, fog. That makes sense. Although he's probably not from London, but hey. Let's see, we already did red for fur. Maybe white or blue. Maybe white for the highlight. Let's see. Ooh, coffee. There we go. Even though you can barely tell on this thing, but hey. We'll name him... I'm not sure if this is how you spell it, but scone. I may change it later to like T or something like that, just to... Alright, and then Hermes. He's from the UCS. He wields the Giza outfit. Not the best in evasion because it's got decent HP. So he's... Elsa, unfortunately, suffers from low HP, so even though she's got a shotgun, you have to kind of be careful about where you place her. Hermes can take a little bit better damage with at least the current build he's got. So at least he doesn't have negatives to hit on his weapon. So Elsa still has the better hit percentage and evasion type. So she's definitely more of a avoid encounters if you can. Yeah, he's got the machine gun, which is the Raptor. It's got the Diable avionics. Huh. And yeah, nothing on the shoulders. And oh yeah, his backpack, he equips the repair backpack that restores units and can either restore or repair units. So you don't really need to necessarily have items for that if you don't need to. Kind of just depends on how encounters go. You probably will eventually have to use this. Whoops. No, we'll leave it on for now because we don't have it. We can't like truly customize our characters currently. So yeah, he's red, white, and blue. So let's give him. Ooh, we could just make him. Yeah, we'll save that for someone else. Where's blue? What do we want to give him? Maybe navy blue? Sky blue? I can't really tell. I won't be able to tell until we change out the camouflage, which will be a while. Actually, let's go black on the lining. Well, like I said, we can't really tell right now. I wanted to change it just enough. So, oh, what is the quintessential American food? Would it be like hamburgers or something like that, or hot dogs? Just yeah, Hermes is a hot dog, that's for sure. No, I might change that later, just for fun. Okay, and then yeah, just look at his unit. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of going over, still going over minor details. Later on, we will eventually go in our role when it comes to, simulations and story elements and stuff like that. But I'll probably try to keep most of my episodes to, 30-plus minutes. The only reason I did a really long episode last time was because I did the tutorial, and I kind of wanted to get something out of the way, not just a tutorial episode. So, okay, pilot setup. So let's use some of that EP that Elsa got in the last episode. So we're going to buy Panic Shot. And then let's go ahead and buy rank number 2. We're wanting that because I want to buy shotgun level 1 next. Because we're going to be using that quite a bit, at least at our current AP build. So let's set Panic Shot. Even though I prefer Terror Shot, I mean, any one of these activating is fine with me for combat purposes. So, oh yeah, Panic Shot is the accuracy on targets, so as well. Okay, Zaid, since he's got some, we'll go with AP max 1, which is obvious, increases your max AP by 1, so we'll do that. We'll also AP charge, so he'll fully charge his AP that he's currently at. And then we'll do missile number 1. So, I mean, we'll eventually probably buy all this stuff by the end of the game, but I'm trying to do a minimal simulation grinding and EP grinding to an extent run, so I'm trying to make it more efficient. I'll go over these if we ever decide to buy them. Actually, let's do it now. Skill slots is obvious. You get 2 more points for skill slots. Like right now you can only do 4, but you can get up to 6. Fixed damage isn't like in the previous game where if a target hits anywhere from 100 to 200 damage, it'll lower it to its minimum at 100. Right now this isn't a big deal because until we fight missiles, which won't take too long, but right now, as of this battle and the next battle, we're not going to worry about that, so that's not a priority. Shield Bash is you basically counterattack with your shield if you're in melee range. So, but it's almost like, well, if you have a melee weapon, why not just use the melee weapon? But it is for counter, you know, you can use the shield as counterattack, but why not use your melee weapon instead, because it does better damage. This is more for if you're doing a machine gun shield build or shotgun shield build instead of that, which would work better for Hermes currently if you had access to shields. But it's a way to change out Zed if you didn't want to, if you just wanted to give him like one missile launcher and give him like a melee weapon later, or handgun or some, or machine gun or shotgun later on. But for now, we'll just do that. Hermes, he doesn't have any EP, we can't do anything for him. But yeah, he gets repair +1, which improves his backpack percentage healing by 20%, which is pretty good. Defend body, I'm not a big fan of this one because it, I mean, yeah, if your body's about to die in combat, you know, saving it first, because then you would lose out on credits. If your character dies in a battle, you lose money, so that means I'd have to grind money later on in a simulation to do that. But the thing is, this can activate whenever, and you probably in the beginning of combat, you kind of don't want, your arms are already weak enough as it is, but allowing your arms to take even more damage is not a good thing. So I prefer not to equip this one. Minus shot, we're going to get this as soon as we get some EP for Hermes here, because it lowers the proficiency levels of stuff by 1. So it'll reduce the damage. So most enemies are going to have at least a +1 later on. Actually, I think most of the stuff we fought already has a +1, so it'll reduce it to whatever its base value is. It can't reduce anything below, as far as I'm aware of, I don't remember this ability to be able to go negative, so it can only reduce it to its base value. Feint, that's a good one too, that improves your evasion by 150%, which is good if you're putting Hermes in a heavy suit, or a heavier suit, because then that'll possibly improve his evasion during a counterattack. And then obviously got evasion skill slots. But yeah, we can't do anything with him for now, so let's get out of that. So let's go ahead and do our first simulator of the game, Durandel simulation number 1. This is basically a simulation of the battle we just fought, so unfortunately we're going to be doing 2 of the same type this time, but not story-wise. This is so we can get some EP and money. Simulated battles offer your pilots a chance to gain extra EP and additional funds. However, since the enemy units in each simulation are always the same, your pilots will gain less and less EP for defeating them. Kind of like if you do the same experience over and over again, it's not going to add much after a point. Defeating them as they advance a level. So yeah, you can't grind the lowest level over and over and over again. So yeah, after positioning enemies, you can put 1 pilot if you don't want to do others. Yeah, you don't gain any additional funds if you quit early or whatever, so you want to complete these if you can. So all right, let's set up our characters. So yeah, Hermes is now yeah, Hermes kind of just joins. There's not like a, you know, new party member scene with Hermes. He's just like, oh, I better fight now. Oops, I put Zaid in the wrong spot. Hold on. Yeah, let's put Zaid there. Not that it's a big deal. This is just for early game positioning. So yeah, time of day, nothing matters. It's the exact same as the previous map. So all right, all the enemies have are in lanes. They have 6% evasion, 1 speed. Okay, I guess in this case they don't have any weapon points. I know later on most of the mechs start eventually getting weapon points. I thought it was pretty early in the game when they start doing that. Yeah, they don't have any weapon attack or defense link, so you don't have to worry about that. This guy has a shotgun and shotgun armor. This guy has piercing, or machine gun. Whoops, wrong thing. So yeah, also there's a lane. Really not much different other than the different weapon types. Like these, basically the front 2 guys have shotguns and the 2 back guys have machine guns. So, and we'll probably be taking on these guys first, so let's move up. These guys won't attack us initially until we first attack them, and then after a point, after we defeat one of them, eventually the machine gunners will start moving. So yeah, the shotgunners will mainly attack when we first target them, and then actually it's probably better to move in just with my full movement at this point. And yeah, if you want to speed up the missiles in combat, you just have to hold down the X button, and that'll speed it up. Ow, we really don't like his legs, do we? But yeah, it's because now that we've attacked him, we're going to, yeah, we only, actually, I might as well just full move at this point. Might be able to get Elsa in with at least a shot. Even though I have the machine gun, I almost want to kind of just go with the shotgun, just because I can get multiple shots off instead of just the one, despite him being resistance to it. So, yeah, I'll do that. Ooh, terror shot, nice. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. I mean, you see it on screen, but yeah, if you can stack multiple attacks back to back, you can get, like, extra damage from it, so there's a benefit for having skills unlocked back to back. It happens more often than you realize. Yeah, too bad I didn't miss. Ooh, nice. That's why I was considering either shotgun or machine gun, just because of that first kind of barrage there. You also want to make sure that all your characters get a hit on a target so they can get the full EP benefit from winning the battle. It's basically you have to have all characters participate. It'll become easier when we have access to links and stuff like that, but for now we'll just have to take as is. So yeah, we'll have you go first. So. Maybe I should have moved a little bit closer. But... yeah. Oh well. And you'll tell the difference between having a non-plus to your weapon as opposed to a plus, because when Elsa uses the machine gun, she does a lot more damage. So I'll show you. Normally, I would still do the shotgun twice and then be able to counter with the machine gun, but I just want to show you how much damage she does with the machine gun. Yeah, she does a lot more damage with the machine gun than, you know, 5 points per to, and that'll stack up later on when we get better weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, since we've, yeah, normally if I had done the shotgun, I would have been able to counter with the machine gun. So it's more efficient to kind of pay attention to your AP. So yeah, unfortunately I got a bit unlucky and we didn't finish this guy off as soon as I would have liked. Oh well. I think these guys have a bit more HP than the guys we fought earlier. So all right, so we'll have Zed work on the next guy right here, since we've already done plenty of damage to the other guy. Yeah, very nice. Alright, let's move. Do we want to move you closer? Yeah, Elsa's probably going to be the one to get targeted the most, so we might finish him off depending on how we get. There we go. Alright, this might hurt a little bit just because of Elsa didn't, or actually no, she has, never mind, I was thinking of something else, but since she has the armor she does, she won't take as much damage. Oh, come on! Boo. Oh well. In this case, I'm still going to counter with the shotgun if I can, because he has piercing armor, so... Normally I'd use a shotgun, or a machine gun, but... Right in the face. In the face! Okay, and yeah, the shotgunner is still not moving because we haven't attacked him or defeated another unit, so... Alright, let me go ahead and hit you. If you're pretty good or get lucky, you can finish this combat within 8 turns. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that, so we'll see what happens. And let's see, you are a machine gun, so Machine Gun Kelly. Oh well, I mean, we don't have any options to give Hermes anything different, so we just have to kind of do as is. Now let's shotgun you. Ooh, nice. Terror shot! Ooh, panic shot, nice. Getting both attributes, accuracy and yeah, he's not gonna move until we either defeat more targets or let's see. He was you have to be careful on Elsa. We may have to use a repair thing on ah, boo. I hate you. Yeah, Elsa kind of gets targeted a lot. I think it's just because she's the main character. Alright, let's move. Actually, I might just have you... Yeah, let's have you finish him off, if we can. Ahoo. Alright. Which AP do you have it? No, you've used all your AP, so. Alright. Have you attack. Like always. Now, unfortunately, for those who care, you can't, like, speed up, like, you can only speed up missiles. You can, and I think you can speed up maybe bazookas, but yeah, machine guns, shotgun. For those who want to speed it up, you can't, so, oh well. Yeah, we'll just keep shotgunning, you know that. Yeah, now you can't move very far, and, there we go, yeah, now that we defeat the other target, he'll now start moving, so. Oh, nice, Elsa. Now you're showing how the French army works. Actually, I don't even know how training really works on the front mission. They never go into super detail about it, so yeah, let's go ahead and work on you to kind of wheedle you down a little bit, and hopefully he'll attack. I might move. I could. I kind of want him to. I definitely want him to take charge, so like he'll attack him instead of Elsa if he can help it. Alright, Elsa, we'll have you. Actually, might as well just have you move in since we're gonna. Actually, nah, if he moves in closer, she might target her, so we'll leave her where she's at. So. Yeah, see how much ammo we have? Like, there's almost gonna be very few instances where we're gonna have to worry about like ammo restoration or anything like that. At least with, you know, those types of weapons. It's almost moot when you think about it. Yeah, Hermes, look at all that delicious HP you still got. She decides stepping, you know, like a good Texas playboy, you know. Woohoo, 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 you know. Let's get you back. Funny enough, when I play tested this earlier, Z kept getting targeted by one guy. He kept following him, so. But I think it's just because he was I mean, technically, getting Z targeted isn't too bad of an idea, depending on the situation, because of his HP. But he can't use if one person gets too close to him, he can't. It's hard for him to mess with missiles because then he's got that immediate target. Although he can still shoot missiles, it's just funny. But anyway. Ooh, rapid fire, nice. Rapid fire again, yeah, yeah, boy. It's like too bad I can't stack like well, at this point anyway, I can't stack like 50 rapid fires, like rapid fire ones or whatever, but yet. Well, sort of. Okay. Yeah, let's just machine gun him. Ah, man. That's like an 87% too. Yeah, see how the percentages will still not work in your favor just because that's just how odds are. Alright, yeah, we pretty much, yeah, it took me a while to beat this. Usually you can do this in 8 turns if you're pretty good, so, oh well. Just got a bit unlucky. Yep, just take it. Take it like a good man. Good man. And one extra little shot for Hermes, but he can take it. He's a big boy. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, man. Ooh, nice. Although even if the ability, ooh, nice, we got him. I'm trying to remember, even if the ability unlocks, I don't think it actually guarantees a hit. I think it just means you unlocked it kind of like the third game. I'll have to double check that though. Oh, nice, we got like 500 extra money. We'll save that for later. Let's see, 13, decent amount, so. Of AEP for everyone. All right, let's, now that we've done that, let's look at our setup again. So Elsa, I want to get, since we got enough EP from that fight, hopefully you get at least 10. Usually it will, but sometimes you can get a bit unlucky. So We want to buy shotgun level 1, so that improves her shotgun capabilities initially. Oh yeah, I guess I could go over some of her other abilities she gets. So speed is obviously sooner in battle, so you can, if you get counterattacked, if you have a higher speed, going first, that type of thing. Link points, we haven't really done anything with that yet, but this allows us to have multiple link sections. When we get to that, we'll get to that, because the game will kind of set that up. So, and then double shot. You can perform 2 attacks from the same type of weapon that is equipped in both hands. So if you have I think you can have machine gun and shotgun. I'll have to double check that though for sure. But yeah, it basically allows you to one turn do both weapons, which is awesome. Kind of like in I don't know if it was called double shot in the previous game, in number 3. Maybe it was double. I think it was something similar to double shot, but anyway. Yeah, I want to definitely the shotgun one, and then for Zed, with his we don't want to buy anything for him right now. We want to kind of store up his stuff, but you know, you could if you wanted to do fixed damage or skill slots. But like I said, right now with what we've got, there's no reason to. Whoops, no reason to buy these. So we'll save for rank 2 whenever we get to that. But we can't do that yet, obviously. So, and then Hermes, we want to buy, like I said before, we want to buy minus shot for that. We'll hold off on. I could buy feint. I do have the money, or I do have the points for it, but for right now, the minus shot's the only one I care about. So for the next battle, so let's see if there's anything else. And yeah, like and you can keep doing the simulation over and over and over again if you want to. And oh yeah, there's a couple of extra repairs that tutorials that set up afterwards. So yeah, you know, we got some time, and I don't want to add this to the later episode. So let's go over the wanzer set. We already did pilot setup in the previous, in the first episode of the game. They basically have you auto do it at this point. So, all right, we'll set up the wanzers and all the configurations for it. I mean, I basically showed it to you, but I just want to show like what the game promotes when you do it. Yeah, it has all the arm parts, body data, HP. When it's 0, it's destroyed. Body weight. Yeah, how heavy the wanzer is, and power output, how much weight it can take, and stuff like that. Must not exceed the power weight, or its weight. Total weight cannot exceed the power. Oh yeah, I guess I missed that part too. It shows you up in the little near the portrait, like how much you have weight to power. You see the W/P there. So yeah, it'll say in red if it's exceeded. Evasion. Take into account when calculating the unit's ability to evade enemy attacks. Is calculated by its body evasion to its leg evasion, or adding body evasion to the leg evasion. If it comes to 0, cannot evade enemy attacks. Yeah, so there are units, depending on, they'll be more based off heavy builds, so they'll have a lot of HP, but they won't be able to avoid jack, you know. In this case, Elsa has a 25% evasion rate. Based off of current equipment. And the arms, yeah, HP. Destroyed in battle becomes unusable, that's obvious. Arms weight, accuracy to hit, which it calculates their tip percentages. Even though I just went over this, but and then oh yeah, I forgot in this game that they have built-in weapons. I don't think the third game had built-in weapons, if I recall. I think some of the enemy bosses sort of had something like that, but not actual stuff you could actually build. And they have their own built-in arms. Will have their own integrated weapons. Yeah, you can't equip if it's a arm with a weapon type in it, or in it, you can't give it another weapon. So, which makes sense. Yeah, and they can contain up to 2 weapons. Nice, yeah. So you have ways to customize a weapon on certain arms. So that's one way to build units. And that just shows the stats of them, what it can do. And then the legs. And now I'll form the head. Oh wait, no, it's wrong thing. So, yeah, evasion capabilities, weight, movement. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention movement. Each different legs have different movement capabilities. Oh yeah, if you have HP reaches 0, you can't evade or only move 1 square. So, movement rate, how far they can move in a turn, the legs evasions, and what type of leg it is. 4 legs. hover. Yep, they've got those. They brought those back from the previous game. Yeah, there's a leg tutorial which goes over that, which we'll talk about that here in a second. So. And there's the weapon stuff, and that just talks about the percentages and like what you can do with it. Oh yeah, there's the two-handed weapons, rifles and bazookas that have their own thing. Nickels, rods, and pile bunkers for melee, and then the shield types, which are going to be equipped in monster hands. Yeah, they have different types of damage, what they can impact damage, but we pretty much know what. I mean, it's pretty obvious what each weapon damage can do and what they can do, what damage slots and everything like that. Damage is based off of, or at least when it comes to melee weapons, and it was the same in the third game too, where it's based off power output to weight and the weapon damage itself. So, yeah, if you can keep a melee unit quicken, like basically turn them into a glass cannon, they can do a lot of damage without a lot of HP though. So you have to, and it can only do ×2 damage, so you can only do so much. Yeah, bazookas, you can do range damage and spread damage as well. Yeah, number of can be used to attack, one per attack. Yeah, it's based off per attack, not per like shot actually coming out of the gun. That'd be kind of silly. Well, I mean realistically so, but I mean for game mechanics it's easier to do it this way. Oh yeah, you can. There's a thing called supply crates in this game, but we'll get to that whenever we get to that. That'll come to the support backpacks and stuff like that. That'll be a while until that happens though. Yeah, it talks about how much AP costs and how many attacks per weapon. So it depends on the weapon. Some weapons can only attack once. Some weapons can attack twice. You know, kind of like it shows the rifles there. So yeah, not all machine guns will attack twice. Some will attack once, depending on how strong they are, or multiple times, depending on how weak they are. So. Accuracy, I already talked about that. Accuracy, yeah, it talks. Okay, I guess I should have mentioned that before. Is that you see the range thing there? The 1 means it's at point blank range, and 8 is at where it's at its farthest. And that's not taking into account like what the evasion of the enemy units is. It's just the unit itself and like what its weapon capabilities and stuff like that. So, shotgun, same thing. Machine guns have their own range as well. I'll talk about the shield. Wanzers hand. Damage cut represents, yeah, how much damage it takes when you actually use the shield option. Yeah, and then like in the previous game, if shield gets used so many times, it becomes unusable for the rest of the fight. So it doesn't kind of permanently damage. It just means for that fight, it's basically worthless after it does block so many shots. So and it's 1 per attack on the shield itself. So, and yeah, the weight of the shield, that's obvious. Yeah, the shoulder units, how much damage they do. And grenade is basically a multi-area attack, kind of like in the third game. I'm going to be saying that a lot. So, yeah, damage type over an area. Setup, rocket launchers are focused. And they can have, depending, and they can be different types of missile launchers, which depending on the machine you got, some will shoot 2 shots, some will shoot 3, 4, whatever. It's the same with like guns and stuff like that. So how max minimum range, yeah. So you have to shoot within that range. If they get too close, then you can't fire it. So yeah, grenade and rockets. Yeah, rockets in this game, yeah, instead of it just being like a focus, like a RPG, I mean, it is like an RPG where it has explosive damage, so it hits outside the intended target. So like grenades, it has an area of effect damage. So then this is the missile launcher. Oh yeah, that's what the sensor backpacks do. They let you increase the range of the backpack if you have a friendly with a sensor backpack. So it might explain later on like how much range you get from it. Average getting excellent range. Like how far an enemy, a friendly can be with a sensor backpack and be able to get that far. But yeah, 7 different types of backpacks. We talked about that before. Radio. I also cover item and tutorial ones, but which are pretty straightforward. I'm just seeing if there's any like unique something I can pick up. Can store up to 10 items for 1 space or 5 items for 2. Yeah, it's like the last game. Some items would use so much space depending on the item. Let's see, turbo or power backpack, so use that to improve your power output. So for either heavy units or if you're using a melee unit and you want to have a bit more punch to your power. Yeah, it says heavy weapons, but like I said, you could use it for a melee or if you want to, so if you make that type of build. The only problem with this game is that certain, at least for a while, certain units are designated. I mean, technically the third game had that too, where certain units were kind of had bonuses if you set to a specific type of character, but you could basically customize them all you want. In this game, because of the early, at least in the early game, you don't get to customize your characters as much until like much later on, but we'll get to that when we get to that, which will be a while. Yeah, these are the armor types. Okay, it's 30%. For some reason I thought it was, I think it's because I'm remembering the third game, like how you could have different strengths of different levels of resistance. In this case, it's just straightforward, so it's 30%. So okay. Yeah, armor type. Select the different ones available. So might just do one more. I don't want this episode to last like as long as last time. Because I don't think the battle in the next one will take me too long either. So how many tutorials have we got left? Yeah, we did 8. So it's time. So there's 4, and then setup. So we did that. So you know what? I think I'll save. Whoops. I think I'll save these for another day and kind of space it out. Even though at that point we'll pretty much know what we need to do about time and weather. But I still want to go over it just in case if there's something I missed before. So. But yeah, that's it for the simulation episode and still tutorial level of Front Mission 4. In the next episode, we'll give our information to Wagner, but will the Wagner take our information with heart, or will the enemies that we've been combating will show their face once again? Find out next time in the next episode of Front Mission 4. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.